Okay guys, in this first set, we're going to be taking a look at the flying guillotine, a really powerful and simple attack, and it's a beautiful setup. But before we take a look at the setup, we're going to just talk about some basic guillotine details. So we know when we're attacking the head, we want to obviously wrap our arm around, but it's a really important concept here, not only are how we grip, but where we position our head. So some simple ideas are, yes, their neck is in this space and we want to eliminate that space. But the more I can bring my elbow in, the more that space gets limited. What helps me do that is not just, we call it the yo-ho-ho, it's a little pirate motion. It's not just this motion, but it's actually bringing my head to the other side. So if I step in and say a front headlock here, I want my head on this side while I'm controlling him. But when I go to finish him, if I try to keep my head on this side, that's about as far as my hand can go. When my head goes to the other side, notice how deep I can go. And that's actually made a huge difference in my guillotine. So once we get in, we're going to start in this position. We're going to have an initial grip, but then we're going to move our head to the side here, which is going to allow us to get kind of the ultimate guillotine, the Marcelo, or even a power guillotine, more of a front naked choke here.
As soon as your head went to the other side, you didn't squeeze any harder, the light started going out.
Huge, yeah, because again, I can only go so far with that hand, but as soon as the head goes, the whole arm can go way further through, and the higher up this wrist is, the stronger the choke is generally. So one more time, that idea from another angle. So here, I can only get so far through, even if I'm connected. When I go here, I'm basically in a front naked choke. We come over the top, or we can slide through more for a proper rear naked choke style finish. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at how to set this up. Now, some wrestling fundamentals. When the match starts, if Stefan stays at this level while I come this low, he's very vulnerable to a takedown. So long as I can get his hands out of the way, I'm going to be able to shoot in on him. So he can't afford that I just go so much lower than him. So when I come low, he kind of has to come low. And just like a boxer uses their jab to set up their opponent, we're going to move around. We're going to come low to get him to come low. And what we're really doing is training him to match our level. As we've done this a few times, we're going to start coming low, and it's more of a fake. That instead of actually coming low, I'm just setting him up so that I can get over his head. So we're moving around, come low once or twice, do it again. And now as he comes, I jump right into the guillotine. If my left leg is forward, generally I want to be choking with my left hand, and my right hand's job is going to be to stuff into this little hoop here. Boom. As soon as I get here, we're bringing our head to the other side, go Marcelo, and we can finish right here. Let's see that from another angle. So again, moving around, I come low, I see that he's matching my level. I come low, he comes low, and I shoot here. Notice I cup his neck. And a small detail here is I'm bringing him into this space, but when my elbow is in line with my ribs, that space is actually a little limited. When I bring my elbow forward, it opens up a wider gap. To facilitate getting his head in there, I not only open, but I rotate my body as well. So as I am jumping, I'm rotating this way here, bringing my lat to his neck. Now again, we could finish here. This is a fine position, but it's not nearly as strong as when I bring my head over to this side here. So we talked earlier when we were talking about the finishing details about the Marcelo team, just a little more context. So Marcelo Garcia, one of the greatest jiu-jitsu athletes of all time, developed this very famous way of finishing the guillotine, whereas everyone for the longest time was just pulling up on the neck, which can be useful. It also leaves a defense open where this arm comes over the shoulder here, and now I can't really get a lot of pressure. To prevent that, and with many other benefits actually, if we are not only deep through, but we bend our wrist back here, now if Stefan tries to go over my shoulder, he can't. He's very much blocked. An added benefit of this arm position is because my forearm is perched on his shoulder, I can add extra pressure with this wrist pulling up on my choking wrist here. Pardon. So we bring ourselves over, we bend this wrist back. Now this, at the beginning, when you're first learning this can feel a little awkward, like how do I get my arm there? I'm actually pushing my own wrist. My right hand's pushing my left wrist in, and my left wrist is resisting. That's what allows my right forearm or my right elbow to go far over your shoulder. So let's take a look at that again. So we're here, I come low, I see he matches my level. I come low, boom, I dive. Here, as soon as we get here, head switches to the other side. I'm grabbing my wrist. When I grab, I'm making a fist and I'm grabbing right at where the wrist meets the hand here. Choking hand, or controlling hand rather, is palm facing me. We come here, Marcelo team, and we finish. In this case, we're finishing standing. We're going to see a lot of variations on this when we go to the ground, either by choice or not.